Okay, it's working. All right. Hi. Hello everyone. This is kind of weird. So we
Bloodshot, more like blood shit.
I don't know how many programs can agree with Twitter videos, so I'm gonna take that with a little disclaimer.
All right.
It's like the Blade 3 of modern day superhero movies.
I'm drinking a whiskey ginger out of a jar.
And I'm drinking not whiskey out of a jar. It is just regular beer that is
Well,
not
I was
endorsing
gonna
me,
start with
so
a
I'm not
beer, but
going
you said
to.
you were already a couple in, so I had to catch up. So whiskey ginger, baby. Woo!
That'll do. So obviously,
Hope you're all
we're
taking care of yourselves in the quarantine.
yep, stay safe. We're staying at home too. We're
Social
doing what we
distancing.
can from what we can right now with the
Don't go
few
see your
movies that
mom.
are out that are actually available to talk about. Realistically, I'm
Like
probably just gonna
they're
start
doing
some
the whole like
Netflix
early home video thing.
movies.
You're really choppy.
Choppy.
You're hella choppy.
Can you hear me okay though?
I can hear you okay. Can you see and hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. That's okay. As long as you can hear me okay, that's all that really matters. Because we've always been the pinnacle of like
Whoa.
both.
It did the whole like skipping, like slowing down for a minute and then just speeding up your voice and unsyncing it from your. Yeah, no, this is fun.
So
Technology. This is going to be
we're gonna
good.
work on some technical issues here, guys. So bear with us.
Yeah. I don't know what's
So
on your end, but I've shut down everything that's downloading and streaming right now. So, you know,
uh, I can help with that. Um,
what were you doing?
my PlayStation was on. I just turned it off.
Oh, that doesn't mean it's doing anything. Oh well. Anyway,
Uh,
well, fortunately, we're in an era of a lot of stuff just being released early on demand. So, that's
which is
cool.
making Peter sweat, but for the time being, at least get something to talk about. So,
I might help support AMC through their AMC on demand thing. Like,
does AMC have on-demand stuff?
yeah, they do. They have like a streaming video service that they launched a few months ago, and it's not like the same thing as me buying stuff on my iTunes account, which has all my stuff on it. But if I'm just gonna rent something, I might as well support AMC,
Yeah, right.
Um, but yeah, so we've got two movies lined up today. One
And
of
we
which,
try to get the shitty one done first.
yeah,
So this is Bloodshot, which is the new Vin Diesel movie based on a character I never heard of until like I saw the trailer for this, and then I looked it up, and because I remember thinking when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh man, it looks like we're going back to the shitty early 2000s era of superhero movies where every superhero movie is ashamed to be a superhero movie and they don't kind of lean into silliness. And then I looked up the actual character and realized that the design of the character looks more boring and stupid than just Vin Diesel in a sweater. So I was kind
Vin
of like,
Diesel in a sweater. I love it.
which is like, and everyone's just like, oh, right, this character was made in the fucking 90s. That explains a lot. Are you looking it up right now?
Uh, you know, it's unfortunate because you always have these things where sometimes there's a really good writer on there, and clearly they did not get the creative executive choice on the thing. And then you have the
Oh man.
director. The direct when I looked up the director, I was like, wow, okay. This is his directorial debut as far as features go, right?
Hmm.
But he's worked on the visual effects, like he's directed a couple of like trailers for video games. He directed the trailer for BioShock Infinite, which admittedly was a really cool trailer.
It was a
A
cool trailer.
concept that he didn't create, that's cool. Um, and he was the creative supervisor of one of the studios that did the visuals for Avengers: Age of Ultron, which was hilarious because multiple points through the movie, I'm like, it's the Avengers Tower. Like one of the
Yeah,
main thing in the movie is basically the Avengers Tower, complete with long ass elevator shaft that they battle down at one point. But that's later.
it's in
Um,
the trailer, so it's not giving anything away. Hmm. For
yeah.
those who I guess are dying to go see it. I guess the movie has its fan base. Like some
Okay.
people like it for whatever reason. I don't get it.
Um, I Okay, so we'll keep away from spoilers to start with, because I hadn't seen any trailers or anything, so all the stuff in the story was brand new to me. I came in completely fresh on the movie, so I had no expectations. I just saw, oh, Vin Diesel in an action movie, cool, and that wildly ranges in mileage.
Yeah.
Um,
Like the
I
entire opening of this movie, I just kept thinking, am I positive I'm not watching a Fast and Furious movie right now?
no,
Because like the
no,
first
you know why?
like
Because it
10
wasn't
minutes,
fun.
yeah.
It wasn't fun. At least Fast and the Furious movies are fun.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
I will like go to my grave saying that the last few Fast and Furious movies are legitimately good movies for as dumb as they are.
yeah, no, I need to catch up. I still haven't watched all of the recent ones, but I just know that after like five, they just get batshit crazy and a
Oh,
better each one.
absolutely.
So yeah, can't wait
That's like
for Fast
imagine
Nine.
imagine every dumb thing you can imagine with a sports car now exceed your expectations, and that's a
Yeah,
lot of few Fast and the Furious movies. You
I
don't
love
want
I love how when we saw the Transporter 2 way back in the day, the idea of driving a car off of a skyscraper into another skyscraper was this crazy concept, and
to.
now that's like that's like Fast and the Furious eats that like trail mix. Like it's
Like
it's not even breakfast.
we'll
It's
top that.
vanilla.
Like
It
you want
sprinkles
to
on
see
top of
like
its
five
breakfast.
sports cars fight a submarine
Oh my god. So yeah, no.
on an
Like,
ice lake.
and honestly, I'm kind of a Vin Diesel fan. I really love his overly earnest, beefcakey, like just meat-headed sentimentality. I kind of love it.
I
So
like I
you're
like Vin
yeah.
Diesel as a person. I think he's actually a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, as a person, he's awesome. I think
Yeah,
Diesel is an amazing person. He's a legit sweet guy. He's kind of a meathead, but at the same time, he's legitimately sweet. He's a fucking D&D nerd.
oh yeah,
Uh,
you heard how we got Judi Dench to agree to Chronicles of Riddick, right?
oh no.
He got her to play D&D and got so enamored in the storyline that that's how he convinced her to be in Chronicles of Riddick.
Wow. Uh, yeah, I will forever respect him for being like such a broy dude and then being one of the earliest people in Hollywood I knew was openly bisexual. Like
Oh, I didn't
he's
know
a
that.
yeah, no, he has not been shy about it for a very long time. And I've always had a lot of respect for Vin Diesel just as a person. Like I appreciate him being himself and being the person that he is. I think he's a legitimately good guy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and honestly, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Last Witch Hunter.
me too.
It is so incredible. Like, and it's based on his D&D character, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of why I love it.
Dude literally made a movie basically LARPing one of his campaigns as hard as you can LARP. And you know, part of me has to respect that pretty deeply too. But all that being said, I love Vin Diesel, and I'm sure that this movie, had it been made better, would have done better with what he did because he really does put himself into this role as much as he
He
puts himself.
does.
Uh, if this was made by guys who made a Fast and the Furious movie, it would actually turn out pretty cool. All the pieces are there. But I remember I was texting you the whole time I was watching
Yeah,
this movie, and it was bizarre because the pacing is so strange.
yeah. No,
Like,
I agree because like it feels like the movie like by the time the movie feels like it actually kicks off with its premise and like its conflict and everything else it's got going for it, the movie's almost over.
yeah.
Like it
Did
feels
did
like by
the,
the time it actually starts, like it's like over the halfway point.
did the sound mix also feel kind of off to you?
Well, my video when I was watching was choppy as fuck, so I couldn't really tell on that one.
Okay.
Um,
But yeah, so I definitely I appreciate the concept to a certain extent. I feel like it could have been done better. But the one thing I remember also saying to you multiple times throughout the movie was like the special effects in this are overwhelming.
oh yeah, no, I
Like
completely
so
agree.
overbearing. It's
And like
clear
some of
this
the
came
stuff,
from
like the
someone who
particle effects were cool, but like after a point is like, okay, we get it. You like slow mo, like
yeah. Well,
knock it off.
the weird thing was like there's this one sequence which takes place in a tunnel, right?
Yeah, I
And
know
I'll
what
just
you're
leave
talking
that.
about.
and there's just red lighting everywhere, and there's lots of dust and ash in the air, and it's swirling around. And I want to say like 70% of the scene is in slow motion. It's
Yeah,
it's a
that
lot
sounds
of
about
it, and
right.
it's more than Zack Snyder would even like. Zack Snyder would be like, "Hold up, buddy, just
I
speed up a little bit."
know,
Like
right?
it was a lot. It was a lot, and man, it just took me out of it. I'm sitting there like they're focused so hard on being like, "Look how badass this is. Look how slow mo it is. Oh, he's flipping this guy." It would have been way more impactful when he flips this one guy over and slams him on the ground. As I was watching and I was thinking, I would have loved to just see him go bah and just hear that
Yeah,
crunch. Like it would have been kinetic. It would have felt intense. This was just like really, it didn't hit. Fucking hit, man. It didn't connect.
no,
I didn't
I
enjoy it.
agree.
It
And
took me
I
because
think I think one thing that kind of bothered me about this movie compared to like one thing I love about superhero movies now is the fact I love how more comic movies are leaning in to just how kind of inherently silly the source material is.
yeah, some of
Uh,
them do. Yeah.
yeah, like like some of them get taken seriously for sure, and I'm not saying all of them have to be that way. Um, but that being said, there is a case where and this is one of the biggest complaints about the Snyder movies is like you have the issue of taking yourself too seriously for a
Well,
character that doesn't really belong to. And in the case of Bloodshot, I think this movie would have paid off a lot with a little bit of self-awareness. um,
I'm saying this as someone who's a big fan of Snyder movies.
yeah.
Like I enjoy Zack Snyder's style for the most part, and my God, this movie just it was so joyless.
Yeah.
The jokes didn't hit. The jokes too, like there are small dick jokes.
Yep.
They're like all the jokes are so fucking sophomoric and basic, and they're not even pulled off with any kind of style or wit. They're just like, 6 inches isn't isn't much, you know. And there's like, what? It's not like, it,
Yeah.
like what? I don't know what about that is supposed to. I guess it's a PG-13 movie, so it's supposed to appeal to 13-year-olds, but that's not true. Like,
Yeah.
why?
And the entire character of Wiggins was just great on my nerves so quickly.
Wiggins
Uh,
Wiggins grated on my nerves for like the first half, especially because they won't stop him eating all the time,
or
and that's a
making
pet
cracking
peeve of
one-liners.
mine. Huh?
Or cracking one-liners.
Yeah, his one-liners were not great. There was definitely a point like halfway through his time on screen where he kind of started to grow on me a little bit,
That
and
did not happen for me.
he's the only person in the movie who has any kind of levity to him.
Yeah, but I feel like
Did
it's offset immediately by just the
hilarious.
look how seriously everything else is being right now. Like that, like the whole him making jokes about like, okay, follow this procedure exactly the way I say it is
Yeah.
immediately followed by the girl going like, I'm too cool for the rules. I'm just gonna blow everything up because that solves everything. Pew. And I'm not watching this.
And
I'm
and the
like
grenades have
laughing, just
to
like this is so
trail
stupid.
red smoke, and she has to walk through it in slow motion, just like Vin Diesel did in an earlier shot. And I'm just like, why is this happening? Why
I'm
this
like,
does? There is so much gravitas to these shots that is completely unearned. There's nothing about this. Like I remember, oh God, what was it? I texted you.
oh god, there's so many texts. You
Um,
gotta narrow that down.
just like there's a point where we are like halfway through a 20-minute sequence of action scenes, and I literally just text Michael in all caps, I'm so bored. I don't
Yeah.
care about any of these characters. I would rather be watching a Marvel movie, even a mediocre one.
And
And
I'm like,
like
hey.
it's what? No, I mean like not that Marvel movies are bad, but like this is basically trying to do what Marvel movies do, but it does it worse. It does it less fun. It does it just without any of the connection to the characters. Like it's just going through the motions.
I
And
would. Oh, sorry, good.
no, go ahead. I'm just ranting.
Okay. I was like, I would argue it's trying to do what Marvel did, but I always say again, Marvel before 2010, before the first Iron Man, because like really, what this movie reminded me more than any other Marvel movie out there was Blade 3. Because think about it, it's a main character taking himself way
I
too
never,
seriously.
I
I
never
mean,
saw
there's
Blade 3,
okay,
but
it
I'll tell you this. The reason I say a Marvel movie is because more than anything, this reminded me of like a poor imitator of a Captain America movie.
mm, I would say honestly, I don't get that personally. I
Maybe
see
it's
it more
just
as like
everything
trying
that
to
was
be
happening
like.
in Avengers Tower.
I mean, like, just because, like, that being said, like, I always feel like it falls more like along with Daredevil or Elektra or, again, Blade. It feels like it's much more common with the early 2000s Marvel movies than the current days. And I feel like it's trying to ape that because I'm wondering if we're getting to that stage, kind of like we were when we had, like, all, like, back now that everything's, like, 80s or back when all the the live action like Smurfs movies were coming out or whatever the hell they were, Alvin and the Chipmunks, all those. I'm wondering if we're getting to that stage where the people that grew up on those shitty, like ultra edgy early 2000 superhero movies are growing up to make their own movies, and
No,
they're bringing that shit back.
no.
I mean, I'm hoping not. I
It's
really
because
am,
I
but
don't think it's intentional, man. I
I
don't
don't
think
know. I'm noticing some trends, but
this
then again, I've only had 2 movies in the sample size so far, so we'll see.
this
Hopefully, I'm wrong.
also this is very different from Venom.
It is, but it does follow the similar trends of that era.
No, I completely disagree.
You
I
think
completely
so?
disagree. Because
Okay.
Venom, again, Venom is having a good time. Venom is having fun. Venom is not taking itself too seriously. The character of Venom is kind of silly in and of itself in that movie. It's basically like a buddy cop movie. This is just some like, ooh, edgy character wants revenge and technology and evil scientists and meh and
But Venom had all of that.
huh?
But Venom had all of that.
Yeah, but it's not fun.
So, but that doesn't. The themes are still like the themes and the
I guess in terms of the plot.
cinematography and the writing is still
Okay,
kind of
okay.
similar.
You know what? You know what? I think we're talking about different things. In terms of the plot, I get what you mean.
Mhm.
In terms of the plot, yes. But in terms of the style, this really strikes me much more as someone who's trying to be like a weird blend of like phase two Marvel and the Zack Snyder movies. Like it does strike me as this weird trying to be both thing,
Okay.
especially with the way it approaches its special effects. Like when I think of the special effects, and again, it makes sense because this dude worked on Age of Ultron. So when I think about the special effects, it really does remind me of like in those movies it wasn't as overbearing, but it was still fucking everywhere when they did all the shots in like, Ant-Man or
I would say pre Guardians of the Galaxy. I think is probably
sure,
fair to say.
sure.
Yeah.
And or even you know what? I gotta say, the part in Guardians where he grabs onto the fucking crystal and he's all glowing and powering up and all those particle effects are going all the way around him feels a lot like a lot of the shit in Bloodshot, especially later on. Like it's just, but it feels soulless, man. It
I mean,
feels
kind of
so.
like the original Ang Lee Hulk, I guess, for another comparison.
Oh God, I never saw that.
I liked it when I was a kid, but then I grew up and actually developed taste.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Still has its defenders. That's another thing.
I just I this feels like it's trying more than something like Elektra or Daredevil did. You know what I mean? This is definitely
It tried
attempting.
more than Elektra, but that being said, like again, that's because I've seen Blade 3. There's a lot of like watch that and watch this, and you notice some similarities.
No thanks.
Like both have a female character that has a random training montage out of nowhere for no conceivable
Oh
reason.
God, the training montage,
That
dude.
has like kind of sort of sexual chemistry as main character, but not really. Then there's a third sidekick that's just kind of there to make one-liners. Uh,
You know what? I guess I could see that. I guess I
yeah,
could kind of see how that would match up. But
and it,
uh,
like, or even
oh,
like if you want to go further back, you can look at Dread with Sylvester Stallone.
oh my God,
Yeah.
different era. But yeah, I just look, I failed to connect with any of these characters. All of these characters they were either they didn't really have any personality. They
No,
were either
no, it
things
didn't.
that they went through or things that they did. There was nothing actually characterizing any of these guys. The main character is just a badass soldier and he has a girlfriend, and then
Yep.
she gets killed in front of him. Like,
And then he gets interrupted from the one of the ending to his Fast and Furious movies,
yeah,
and gets kidnapped by
so
Victor Von Doom.
it really is just this weird. It's this weird, like, okay, I guess we're in the plot now, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, exposition, science, exposition. Ooh, you nanites in your blood. They are your blood. Oh my god. And
And I was just laughing so hard when the movie started up because again, like I'm looking at the lighting and the location and the actors. I'm like, am I positive I didn't accidentally just buy a Fast and Furious movie?
it's
'Cause I
so
feel like I just watched this.
it's so fast, it's so furious, but it's not fun.
No, it's not. At
This
least
movie
like,
has a lot of speed and rage, and that's all it is. It's Vin Diesel being really intense, and
and really practical helmets.
there were literally like a couple of moments in the movie where I laughed, and sure, okay, I'll give it
Every
that.
time I laughed, it's followed by the shaking of their head, like this is so fucking stupid. Like it's that kind of laughter.
So out of this, how long was this fucking movie? I don't even know. I was just sitting
Hour and
there.
a half.
Okay, so out of this hour and a half, I got a good like 10 seconds of enjoyment. I really did not enjoy any of this movie. Um,
We
and
I think I
it's
have a few
almost
more laughs than that.
sorry.
I think I have a few more laughs than that. Most of like the random ass dance sequence that happens in the first act of the movie. It's like, wait, what?
Dude, I saw that,
And then they try to be clever about it.
later. You know how that's called out later in the movie, but
Yeah.
like when that's called out, I'm like, that's not exactly the kind of self awareness that
Like,
lands at the joke, you know?
yeah, it's like you didn't earn that movie.
Yeah.
You're
You know
not
what?
smart enough to pull up that kind of a
No,
joke.
no psychopathic murderer dance sequence will ever top the one in Gamer. Stick with that.
Have I ever seen Gamer? Was that the one with Dexter? No, I've
It's
not. I remember seeing trailers when I was younger, but I never saw it.
it's not a good movie, but it's a pretty decent time.
That was
It's
one of the one with Gerard Butler and Dexter, right?
yeah, Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Oh, yeah.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing: if you liked Ghost Rider 2, you'll love Gamer.
I probably would too. Yeah.
If you like Gamer, you'll love Crank and Crank 2. And Crank 2 is one of my favorite movies ever. So,
I've seen parts of Crank too. I've never watched it all the way through though.
oh, you've seen the first Crank, right?
Yeah, I've seen the first Crank.
Okay, Crank 2 picks up literally as soon as Crank 1 ends.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm aware of the plot. Yeah.
but it immediately doesn't. It immediately basically makes fun of the whole first movie. Crank 2 throughout the movie is making fun of the serious parts of the first movie and just going as far as it can to just be a ridiculous premise. And it's so good.
You have to
It's such
respect the
a
way
great
that
time.
just goes for it, you know?
Huh?
As you gotta respect a movie that just goes for it, right?
Yes. And Crank 2 absolutely goes for it. So
It's like I'm like during my quarantine time, I'm watching Legion season 3 right now. Have you ever seen that show? Legion?
I just rewatched season 1 with Kim so that I could finally get to season 2.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, but like
But
especially in season 2 and season 3, it's like my God, they didn't say no to anything.
yeah, no,
It's
I love
kinda
that
great.
show even just in the first season because it does whatever the hell it wants.
Even
but
more
yeah.
so in season 2 and 3. It's more like my God, you have to respect something that just does whatever the hell it wants.
Mhm.
No, they didn't say no to a goddamn thing.
Cool.
And it just goes for it.
I'm into it. So,
Yeah.
here-
Anyway, back to Bloodshot. Things we
my whole
we
point
don't want to
about
talk
this-
about.
my whole point about this is that all of the elements within Bloodshot have been done in other places where they're done with better characters, more
Yeah.
fun, better directing, better editing, better pacing, better script. Like, there's nothing about this movie that is unique or gets you invested in it. If you just want to sit back and watch a bunch of cool special effects jerking off all over themselves, like, sure, enjoy. But there was nothing about this movie that connected me with it, and I'm a big fan of action sequences, but I was just exhausted. Like I'm just sitting there, literally just saying, "Ugh, just get it over with." I
But
really did not.
Muha, underwater Tai Chi.
What a way to connect a couple characters. I love the whole trope of the male character, like especially if they're super masculine, looking over and seeing, the lady character doing something where, you just really get to admire her body. And it's in
Yeah.
slow motion usually.
Mhm.
And he goes like he's in the mind of the director, you can tell that it's like he's enraptured by her beauty. He's suddenly like his entire focus, this man who's never really cared so much about this stuff, is suddenly focused so much laser on this magnificent creature. And when I'm looking at it, all I think is like going through this character's head is like, whoa, she's hot. Like that's as deep as it goes for me.
Or the one that always kills me is how she, like, in the middle of this, kind of looks over, like, "Oh, hi, I didn't see you there."
Didn't
Like,
notice there.
and then they zoom out and they show like the pool, like entrance pool, just on top of this. I was like, "Motherfucker, how did you not
It's a
see him
giant
there?"
pool with a giant glass window right next to the gym, I guess.
Like she could just
So
look
that they
over
can
the
watch
pool
each
edge
other
and just
while
see
they
him there, and it's just like, "Motherfucker."
It's by the way, she's been doing her underwater tai chi right next to him with a full glass window while he's been punching columns and lifting weights, and God knows how long he's been doing this. And then he's like, I've been at this for 40 minutes and I didn't even notice there's a hot babe right there underwater doing acrobatics.
And
Like,
even then, you have to wonder, like, here's a stupid plot hole. Like, how do they replace the column every single time?
I don't know, man. Spoiler alert.
It's in the trailer. Uh,
Is it? Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's in
Yeah,
the trailer.
if you haven't seen the trailer, it's actually a pretty cool twist. I just wish it was in a better movie. So,
Yeah.
yeah, God, this movie was a slog. I fucking hated it.
Yeah. It's pretty
Which
bad.
sucks, because clearly there were people on this movie that really cared about it, and it got wasted by bad direction and bad editing. So,
Yeah, so that's Bloodshot. I'll see like the I don't know. I guess people like this for some reason. The fanboys in the comments, I'm
Suicide
sure.
Squad, man. Suicide Squad has a fan base.
I'm gonna say this right off that I was one that said Justice League sucked before everyone else agreed with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I didn't really hear anybody say that Justice League was good.
I heard a lot of people say Justice League was good. Uh, like there was a lot of sunk time fallacy going on with Justice League when that movie came out.
I didn't like it.
I
First
know you
thought, I
did.
was like, that was mediocre. That was like
Uh,
6.5, maybe.
like I was even there. I was like that movie fucking sucked.
Ah. All right. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Let's do
No, fuck off with that. Don't encourage him, man. All right.
I would
Uh,
love that work print. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, sure, if they were released, I'd watch it, but I don't think it's what they're looking
I'll
for.
watch the 5.5 hour Snyder Cut with all the sketched scenes and drawings. Give it to me. I watched fucking Tarantino's the whole bloody affair version of Kill Bill, where half the fucking shots are basically like outtake footage that they salvaged to put scenes back in the movie that don't fucking matter. Like, fine, I'll do it. Fuck it, give it to me.
It's like
I'll do
Superman just punching like a cardboard cutout of Darkseid.
it. Yeah, right. Hey, it'll have more personality than the real Darkseid.
That
Anyway,
being
let's
said,
move on.
Michael Ironside as Darkseid is still like the top tier of like supervillain voice acting
Wait, where was that? Wait, was Michael Ironside it?
in a real Superman animated series.
Oh, okay. I
He
was
also
gonna
did that.
say
He
I
did
would have
that in the.
recognized Michael Ironside if he was in Justice League.
No, I wish. Fuck,
Yeah.
I wish.
No,
No, like Michael Ironside played Darkseid in the Superman animated series and in Justice League, the TV show.
that's a good pick. That dude's a good fucking voice actor.
Oh, dude, he's like, look. You can look at YouTube of it now. Like he is Darkseid in my brain. Like as much as Mark Hamill is the Joker. All
All right, let's move on. I want to talk about a movie I like.
right, all right. So thank you for watching. See you all in a little bit with the hunt.
Ooh.